Okay. Demetrius, why is revision important? Stand up in college talk. Revision is important because. Try that again, please. Go ahead. Okay, that's interesting. So when we're revising, we're going back to look at our piece in a more clear way so that we can see what we need to add to make our stories better. Go sit by Mr. Staunton with your things. So revision is important because all writers who publish books, see this is a published book up here, I don't know where you're looking. All writers go through the process of revision. All writers look at the story they've already written and they think, that doesn't sound quite right, let me add something. I think I could use a little more dialogue on this page. Woo, I'm rereading this page. Whoop, I forgot a word, I need to add it. So good writers constantly revise. So today in writing, I will revise.
Today in writing, I will revise.
In one way, sit and slant. One way we will revise is by unfreezing the characters in our story, and we are going to make our characters move. So we're going to unfreeze people and make them move. And we will have this chart up there on the board for your reference later on. Okay? So questions to think about when we're unfreezing our characters are as such. What were my eyes doing?
What were my eyes doing?
What were my hands doing?
What were my hands doing?
And what were my feet doing?
What were my feet doing?
So we're going to think about what we were doing from head to toe as we revise today. Now when we go back and revise today, we are going to add action, Spirit. And as you're tracking, all of those action words are called verbs. Everybody say verbs.
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 Whisper it. Clap it. Say it. When you clap it, there's only one syllable. It's verbs. Okay? Okay, thank you. Look at Dakota, do what she's doing. Verbs are things that you do. Things that you can do. Okay? So today, before you see my exemplar and before you revise, I'm going to read a story to you. And as I read, I want you to think about all of the action words and verbs that you hear in this story. And I want you to think about how you can add or you can revise some of those words in your story. And I have a particular page that I copied in front of you that really highlights the use of verbs. It really highlights the way the author is unfreezing the character and bringing the character to life. Following the read, you will see my exemplar, and then you guys get to revise on your own. Okay?
Yay.
going to sit here right now, so you should be looking this way. So I'm going to read through the whole text, but we are going to stop at this page in particular and really, really analyze and think critically about the verbs we see. Players in pigtails. Players in pigtails. So again, we're thinking about how we can unfreeze our characters and make them come off the page when we are revising. Katie Casey wasn't good at being a girl. At least not the kind of girl everyone thought she could be. Her clothing was crumpled, her knitting was knotted, her dancing was a disaster. Jaden, sit up, please. And no matter how hard she tried, her heart just wasn't in home ec. But there's one thing Katie was good at, baseball. Now, we all have this page in front of us, so we're going to read this page together. So I'll wait till everyone has the page in their hand. So we are at but. But there, hold on, why aren't you reading? Thank you. But there was one thing Katie was good at, baseball. Katie could catch any ball with any mitt with her eyes closed. She could hit any ball with any bat with one hand behind her back. She preferred sliding to sewing, batting to baking, and home runs to homecoming. Now, using what we've already learned about verbs, what are some verbs, or what are some things that Katie could do on this page? Alfonso.
Run really fast.
So, the first verb we can add to our list is run. Fast is not a verb. Fast is describing the verb. So run. What are some other verbs we read about? Jaden, what else could she do? Did it say she could kick?
No.
Did you say hit? Did I hear miss? Okay, so to hit something, that is a verb. What else? Dynasty.
She could catch.
She could catch.
She could catch it from icons.
She could catch. What are some other verbs? Dakota.
She can throw.
She can throw. Any more that we were missing? Chloe?
Slide.
Ooh, to slide. Good one. Antonio? She can catch. Yes. Malachi?
She can hit with one.
We have hit. Sydney? Swing.
Ooh. Nice. I think I know one.
Alyssa?
Me.
Did it say in the text she could read?
No.
Okay, that is a verb, but I don't see it in the text.
We don't
Kyrie? So let's review the words, or I'm sorry, the verbs that we've already identified. Run,
Run.
hit,
Catch.
throw,
Throw.
slide,
Slide.
swing.
Swing.
What do we notice about the word catch? Who can tell me with a quiet hand? Jocelyn. Well, it has a silent letter, but what's at the end of that word? Nina? We have the digraph here at the end of our word, the CH. Excellent. So now, hands down now, because I'm speaking. Thank you. Be respectful. Now we've already identified some action words. I'm going to finish the text, And I want you to think about any more verbs that we see in this text, and I want you to think about how you can go back and revise and make your characters come to life by making them move, adding action, and one way we can do that is use verbs, okay? So I'm up here now. Your text should be down because we're done reading that page. Thanks, Dakota. I'm now reading. Her parents were not at all pleased. Why not piano or painting, they pleaded. What good is baseball to a girl? But Katie wouldn't be swayed. She walked baseball, she talked baseball, she even dreamed baseball. She went to the ballpark every chance she got. She loved the hot dogs and peanuts. She loved the shouting and singing. But most of all, she loved watching the professional players play ball. Sometimes she even imagined she was one of them. Every spring she showed up for Fairfield High team tryouts. And every spring she was turned away without even getting a try. Better stick to ballet, the boy said. What good is baseball to a girl? But baseball was starting to change. America was at war, and more of the country's boys, including the professional baseball players, were going off to fight. I'm going to need everyone to sit in slant at this very instant moment.
Well, north.
I'm waiting for everyone to sit in slant. Jaden and Dakota.
Yeah. Dakota.
You need to turn your body and face me. So all the baseball players were going off to war. So the fields were almost empty, and the fans were getting frantic. Last week we talked about frantically. And in this text it said the fans were getting frantic, so they're getting really nervous and they were panicking. Even President Roosevelt was worried. What was a country without a national pastime? And a pastime is like a hobby. No one wanted to find out. Finally, Philip Wrigley, the owner of the Chicago Cubs, had an idea. If women can work in factories and even join the army, he said, why can't they play ball? Outrageous, everyone said. Girls playing baseball? No one will pay to see the girls play ball. But Mr. Wrigley didn't listen. He sent out 30 scouts to find players for his league, the first and only girl professional baseball league. The scouts searched high and low, near and far, and to be perfectly frank, they were flabbergasted by what they found. And flabbergasted means shocked. They were astonished. This is in Washington. All over the country girls were playing ball, and they were just as good as boys. Texas, California, Florida, Louisiana, New York.
Wait, what the what? That's not true.
One of them was Katie Casey. Say, sister, said a scout when he saw her curveball, how'd you like to go to Chicago and try out for a real team? Would she? Katie didn't have to think twice. She went straight home and packed her bags, kissed her parents goodbye, and boarded the very next train.
Wow. Wow.
When she got to Wrigley Field, she broke into a grin. There were hundreds of girls. There were farm girls and city girls, tall girls, short girls, girls from far away, and girls from down the block. But no matter what they looked like or where they came from, they all had one thing in common. They all loved baseball. Katie had never felt so at home. Sign her up, said the coach of the Kenosha Comets when he saw her swing. The All-American Girls Professional Baseball League was on its way.